Welcome back. I'm Maggie, the host of Neighbors Helping Neighbors, the podcast from Father Joe's Villages. This is a continuing series where we explore homelessness, its causes, and solutions to the issue. Our guests include experts, leaders, people with lived experience, and unique perspectives on homelessness. If you'd like to learn more about our mission, visit us at neighbor.org and follow us on social media at Father Joe's Villages. Today's topic is detox, and most notably, our just announced brand new Detox Center. We'll talk all about what detox is, why it's so desperately needed, and how our new center will benefit our community and save lives. We have wonderful guests today, both of whom can speak from lived experience, having beat addiction themselves, and are now strong proponents of our brand new Detox Center. Join me in welcoming Mary Jo Scarpetti, the director of our medical clinic at Father Joe's, and Kimberly Konopik, one of our very own substance use disorder counselors. To get into this with us is, as always, my co-host, Deacon Jim, the president and CEO of Father Joe's Villages. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's going to be a great session.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it for a long time.
We have been talking about it, and we're going to be making it happen. So we're going to get into the different nuances of it. That's great.
Well, let's start just by giving a brief introduction. Tell me who you are and what you do at Father Joe's.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Mary Jo. I am clinic director of the Village Health Center at Father Joe's. So I oversee our administrative team, also our street health team, and soon to be detox program.
Wonderful.
And my name is Kimberly, and I work in transformative recovery services. I am a substance use counselor. In the last 14 months, I've had 160 people placed in some type of program. To be able to get this detox is huge for me. I'm super excited to be here today. Super excited to talk about the need for this detox, the lives that we're gonna, this is amazing. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
It's good to have you. And I'm Deacon Jim, as Maggie mentioned. And I always like to give an overview of who we are as Father Joe's Villages, and the Village Health Center, such an important component of that. And then within it, the various aspects like street health. We were the first ones out there in 2019 doing street health, and now, as these fine ladies know, we have 3 vans out there, morning and afternoon, 5 days a week. Not only is it primary care, but it's also psychiatric care, as well as substance use assistance that we're giving to those who have those challenges. Dental, which is so important as well, right? So that's a quick overview of our federally qualified health centers, one of our big gems, one of our pillars, so important. There's an intersection between health and homelessness. A lot of people who are homeless have health issues, especially if they've been chronically homeless. So it's important for us to focus on that. And then we focus on our kids. We love our kids, right? And they come to us academically, emotionally, and socially delayed in so many respects. And the kids are so resilient. I love to see how the kids bounce back. You apply the right level of resources and, of course, compassion and love, and you see how they're prospering and keeping up with their peers. And that's what it's all about, because we know if we don't mitigate their circumstances, they're 4 times more apt to be homeless in adulthood, right? So we can't have that, right? So we work with them as well, and with their families, and building familial bonds, and that's so very, very important as well. Then we have an employment and education center. Again, with marketable skills comes employment, and then income and self-sufficiency. So we have vocational training in various disciplines, such as culinary arts and security guard training, facilities, and so forth. And so that's an important element as well. Certificate-bearing courses, and people then can move up and prosper, right, and find employment. So it's really great to see people aspire to things that they never thought they could. And so it's an important element as well. Shelter beds. We have about 900 shelter beds, right, each and every single night. And it's not enough, and we know that. We've spoken about that in other segments, and we'll continue to advocate for more shelter beds, right? So that's an important element as well. And then we have housing. That's what breaks the cycle of homelessness, right? Our affordable housing, and we know it well, and we know the difference that it's making in the lives of individuals. And not just the housing itself, but the comprehensive services that we apply, which is why 97% of those who are in these affordable housing homes, or units, I should say, retain their housing and prosper long term. And that's what it's all about, right? So there is just a plethora of programs that come together in order to make a difference in people's lives. And as Maggie said, we've been as excited as could be about this segment, and even more so, what we're doing between now and the end of the year in order to prepare for our detox center and the establishment of that come the beginning of next year. So we'll get into that now.
All of these beautiful services that you mentioned are towards our mission, preventing and ending homelessness. But we've identified a gap, a serious unmet need in our community. Let's start there, Mary Jo.
Yeah, so detox is so important for the patients that we serve. My experience has been one, both personally and professionally, in trying to, my own experience in needing detox. I was someone that suffered with substance use disorder in silence. I never thought that would be my life or my experience. I had been going through some hard times with some grief and didn't have coping skills at the time. And so I had prescription medication, and I ended up becoming dependent upon that and realizing I needed help long before I was able to get it. There weren't people that were talking about resources where I was from. It wasn't something that was advertised. There weren't podcasts, or at least I wasn't seeing them. So, you know, I wanted help for a long time. And so the experience of withdrawal is absolutely excruciating. It is, you know, I can equate it to the sickest flu you've ever had, and then include this spiritual pain, this emotional turmoil. You know, you can't think straight. And so I was trying to stop substances on my own with feeling like that. And I finally realized that I needed support, and I went into residential treatment. So I'm from New Jersey. I did a geographical, went into residential treatment, and immediately went into withdrawal. And I was so sick. Had I been closer to home, I would never have been able to complete treatment. I would have left that treatment. I would have told myself I tried. I would have, who knows what would have happened. But by the grace of God, I was able to get through that. But it was about 2 weeks of feeling really awful and trying to program. So in my own experience, the need of detox, it would have been transformational. I would have been able to probably stop a lot sooner. But the fear of withdrawal really kept me in that cycle of substance use. And, you know, I remember being at detox treatment, and the counselor saying, you think you need detox, and being so afraid that they would send me because I didn't have insurance, and I couldn't imagine a hospital bill. So I'm like, no, like I'm fine, I'll be okay. So, you know, personally, the need would have been great in my life, and then professionally, you know, I have experience as a substance use disorder counselor as well, and so I see a lot of clients that come in and out of treatment, and they leave within their first couple weeks because it's, like I said, the feeling of withdrawal or is just too great to be able to program during that time.
So they start treatment, but because they haven't, you know, completed their detox portion, they're unsuccessful. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and we've just seen that time and time again within the first 2 weeks, just leaving, you know,
because they're hurting. Yeah.
So I mean, the need is so great, and we are so excited to be able to offer this service. We see clients all the time that are just ready to change, and to not be able to capitalize on that moment, we lose the opportunity.
And the reason we're not able to capitalize on that as a community is because in the entire county of San Diego, across 3.3 million people, there are 78 detox beds. That's incredible. That's when you think about it, and only two of which are in the city of San Diego, right? So it's not there. And especially for our population, those who we serve who are on the streets, right? None of those beds go to them, right? So this 45 beds, we haven't mentioned it, but it will be 45 detox beds that we'll be establishing. First of all, it's a 58% increase on the existing beds, right? And our focus will be those who we serve, right? Those who we're serving now, but not effectively, because they're cycling in and out of these beds, and you know that better than even I. And so it's heartbreaking that we're not really getting to the heart of their issue, right? So being able to then offer these beds that are targeted towards detox, and then the recovery beds that follow thereafter, because that's important, as you mentioned. It's exciting as could be.
Mary Jo, you mentioned, or you kind of alluded to, the importance of timing. timing is really important when you're placing someone into detox or into treatment, and this low number of bed inventory that we have really plays into that. Do you have any experience with that, Kimberly?
I experience that every day. I'm one of the counselors for Transformative Recovery Services, and a lot of times okay, let me back up for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about my life. Okay, so I used drugs for over 35 years. I've spent over 18 years in state prison. I didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I think I want to be a drug addict and wreck my life. So when I started using, I was using because with my peers. Then it became I had to have it. You know, I had to keep using. I wanted to stop every time I got arrested or I got put in a program. But I couldn't, you know, I couldn't just stop because I would get a feeling and then I would self-medicate. And then before long, I was numb for 35 years. You know, burning bridges, losing trust in people, not doing things because I was a bad person. It was the behaviors that I had. There wasn't the support. You know, and I don't want to tread through the mud about my life. What I want to talk about is this amazing place that I work at right now. When I started there 14 months ago, it was like, I felt like I was at Disneyland. And I said that in my interview. And I was like, and what I mean by that is there was so many people that need so much help. You know, that somebody's child, that somebody's mother, somebody's father, some of these people didn't ask to be like that. However, if you're a woman or even a male these days and you're out on the street, what are you going to do if you're homeless, you're unsheltered, and you have no place to go? And you have that breaking moment, and it's like, right now I'm ready to go to detox and I'm ready to get help. In that 14-day period that we would have you in detox, that would give our team the opportunity to rally around you. One, we have mat services, we have the doctors, we have the clinic, we have all the nurses, we have psychiatrists, you know, we have therapists, we have education, we have an amazing lady, Bonnie Cutler at EES, that she's all about our people. You know, it's like she wants to build them up. It's like, I promise you that I beat myself down so bad in my disease, and I've been a chronic relapser my whole life. You know, I didn't know all the resources were there. They're there. There's no such thing as a perfect system. But boy, let me tell you, the joy that I have in my heart that this detox is coming, because there's days that I know that it's wrong to take your work home with you, but you can't help but care about your clients. You know, these are our neighbors, and this could be you tomorrow. I mean, I am one bad decision away from a life sentence in prison. Since I've been released, you know, we do recover. And it's like, there's nothing that you could tell me about me that I haven't told myself times 10. You know what I mean? I beat myself down. I carry so much shame, or I did. I carried so much shame and guilt. And it's like, but at Father Joe's Villages, for me, and I drive over an hour to get to work every day, not because I have to. I do because I choose to, because I've met some of the most amazing people there. And it's like, but I have clients now that I have in school, and I reference Father Joe's as the belly of the beast, right? If you can maintain there, and it's like, and now we've got opportunities coming for them. We're gonna have, you know, if you come to me today, I'm gonna go walk the streets and try to find you. Yeah. You know what I mean? To get you into that detox bed. It's like, and then I have 14 days for me to try to speak some life into you and tell you, look, I don't have your solution don't lie on me. You know what I mean? Your solution lies in you. I want to help you find it. I want to support you along the way. Not everybody's perfect, not everybody has the same goal, but there's some amazing, wonderful people at Father Joe's. And if there's 3.3 million people in San Diego County, and we have 78 detox beds, shame on us. You know what I mean? Because these people are suffering out there. They are hurting. They need these beds. They need a hand up. They don't need to be beat down anymore. They don't need to be told they're not worthy. Yesterday, I got to witness a really cool thing, a cop walking up and down the streets by Father Joe's, interacting with the people on the street, and new cop, and he's like, he wanted to be a game changer, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? This is cool. I see changes coming, and I'm excited, and I'm so grateful to get to be a part of that.
What are you hearing from our neighbors who are unhoused? Are they wanting detox beds? Are they wanting sober shelter beds?
So there's a lot of people, but here's the thing: if you take somebody and you put them in a detox, okay? What the problem is that you go to detox, you're in detox for the 14 days, then you transition back to what? You know what I mean? If you're not going into a program or you don't have a safe environment, that could be a barrier, that could be a challenge, you know what I mean? It's like they want to stay clean, but if they don't have the place to stay clean at, and somebody saying, hey, let us build you up, hey, let's get you some job skills, hey, let's have you do, and everything is right there. We have city blocks. You know what I mean? And people, I promise you, every day I am out running around Father Joe's, trying to bring as many people as I can in. And it's like, again, there's no perfect program, but we sure are working towards it. And I'm so grateful this detox is coming, because every time I tell somebody, look, they do their screenings between 8 and 10. If you're not here and we don't get lucky, you may not get in. And the reality of that is you might not be alive tomorrow for me to get you in someplace. So what an opportunity to be yes, it is about the timing, because some days it's like we go smoke dope and we do whatever and we take that feeling away. You know, somebody passes, or I get a feeling, I get uncomfortable, I get vulnerable. You know, I didn't cry for over 35 years. I didn't care about anything but the next high. You know, today my life is different. So today it's like I'm present. I'm not just existing. So today I'm educating myself. I'm gaining knowledge. It's like I just graduated from AODS school at City College in June.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
I appreciate
great.
that.
That's great.
So I've never completed anything other than a prison term. You know, but I'm also back in school. I'm still at City College working towards my bachelor's degree. I just got accepted to a program at UC San Diego as a specialized certification for a community health worker. We serve everybody at Father Joe's, and it's like, so I want to make sure I'm prepared to deal with people from maybe Somalia, maybe from, you know, some cultures I don't understand.
Right.
You know, the ultimate goal is for me to get my LPCC. So I'm certified. I facilitate groups for like the parole department, like, you know, domestic violence, anger management. Everything's a growth opportunity for me now. And it's like I hadn't been in school 35 years, dropped out in 9th grade. And it's like, and it's amazing the brain fires back up. We're not just wasted people, you know what I mean? We do recover. We do change. And the cool thing is that, you know, we work in a village, you know what I mean? And we have everything in the village. And it's like, but we need the community. I mean, this could be your family, this could be your friends, could be your kid. And it's like 3.3 million people, you guys. If everybody gave $1, $1,
Yes.
could you imagine? You know what I mean?
We could make.
This is our community, and it's like when I started at Father Joe's, I didn't know anything about the creed. But let me tell you, I live that creed every day today. And it's like I am compassionate, and it's like, and I do respect people, and I do try to show empathy always. And I do empower people, and as I watch my clients excel, and I see the lights come back on in their eyes, I'm like in awe. And
we have nothing but hope and resources at Father Joe's. And like you said, the brain fires back on and they find it within themselves to rebuild their lives back up.
I tell people all the time,
That's
look, I'm
wonderful
just
to be
getting
part
started.
of. Yes.
That's great.
Have you, I was looking at some of the statistics of overdose deaths, specifically recently. Do you think that the fentanyl crisis has been part of that or worked its way into this?
Yeah, definitely. Before coming here today, I received news that a client that I worked very closely with overdosed, and you know, I know that if I had been using now, if I didn't get clean when I did, I don't think I'd be alive. Like fentanyl is in everything, and it is killing people left and right. You know, people have periods of sobriety and they think they can just one more time or just think they can handle it, and fentanyl is killing them left and right, and it's just heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking watching the light come back on for someone and then like it be permanently turned off.
Because they so desperately want to live.
They do. And xylazine, right? I mean, that's also beginning to wreak havoc out there in the community as well. Thanks for sharing that personal story. And I'm sure it's raw right now because it just happened a couple of hours ago. It really did. Someone with whom you have grown close, right? And you've been working with them, right? So, no, that's incredible. The two of you, by the way, humble me. You really do. I mean, to hear your stories, they're so powerful. And you're such strong women. Oh my gosh, to overcome what you've done and be where you are at this point in time. And as you say, you're not done yet, right? I mean, so it's really great. I mean, and we talk about the numbers. I mean, again, I always carry a lot of numbers in my head, right? At the end of the day, we have to remember that there's a face behind each and every single one of those numbers. It's an individual. But to your point, Maggie, over 600 deaths on the streets in this past year. And to put it in perspective, about 3 years ago, there were less than 100 deaths on the street. And of the over 600, over 300, 375 to be exact, were from drug overdoses. So you're right, our people are dying on the streets, especially because of fentanyl. So, and by the way, to drive the point home, by order of magnitude, to show how much we need these 45 beds, and many more. We have over 10,000 individuals in the last point in time count who are homeless in the county of San Diego. Let's round it to 10,000, right? We know that about 40% of them have some level of substance use challenges. That's about 4,000 individuals.
Mm-hmm. That's
Think about
self-report.
And that's self-report.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And so do we need these 45 beds and beyond? Oh, absolutely we do, because I would be overjoyed if all 4,000, let's say, came through our programs throughout a period of time. But if you think about it, if only 10% did, right, that's 400 people. Right? There's a lot of work to be done. This is absolutely very, very necessary, which is why it's been weighing on my heart now for at least a couple of years. And we finally decided at the end of last year that we would absolutely go forward and do it, right? And the community, which has been so generous to us in general, because we have people out there who believe in us. They see the success that we have, the difference that we make in people's lives. Between now and the end of the year, we need to raise $1.5 million, right, in order to renovate our facility. And we will. There's no doubt in my mind, because again, we're blessed with a very warm-hearted community. And especially in a topic like this. And this resonates. I think you both alluded to this. People whose lives have been touched personally by this. They can understand, and so we're going to get that done and then get it up and running, always with God's help and to His glory, I always say, right? And we're going to do it.
What would you say, perhaps there are some listeners listening in right now that are thinking, why should we build programs for people who are still using drugs? Why should we help people out of homelessness that are still using drugs? Why can't they just stop? What can you share that might help raise awareness around that topic? You too, Deacon.
I think it could happen to any of us. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would suffer from substance use disorder. My mother never thought her daughter would suffer, and it's just the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. People are suffering and they deserve compassion. No one is immune from being down and out and having struggles. And so, I feel like it's our duty to support people and help lift them up.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
So for me, I kind of feel like, I think I just lost the whole question.
What would you say to someone who questions whether or not we should be providing resources to people who are still using drugs? Why can't they just quit on their own?
So if I had cancer, would you want to deny me medical attention? No, you would want to treat that because it's a disease. I promise you I didn't wake up and just say, you know what, I'm going to be a drug addict and I'm going to wreck everything in my path. Things happen. So again, I was born back in the 60s, grew up in the 70s and 80s, so mental health wasn't like something that was discussed or treated. What goes on in your house stays in your house. My dad was a raging alcoholic. He was in the military. My mom was a waitress my whole life. I didn't even have health care insurance as I was growing up. I didn't get diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis until I went to prison for the first time at 19. And, it was a dirty little secret then. And it's like every time that I got clean and sober, I wanted that to be my last time. I wanted to be clean and sober, but, I didn't have like coping skills. I didn't know how to verbally communicate till 5 years ago. And now I'm pretty good with my words. I suffered in silence for a long, long time. And it's like everything that I would tell myself, I wasn't good enough, I would never be anything, I'm defined by my past, all this trauma that happened to me. I've been being traumatized my whole life. And it's like, of course I want to self-medicate. You know what I mean? Of course I don't want to feel. But I never meant to hurt anybody along my way. I never meant to cause pain. I definitely didn't mean to hurt my mom. So back in 2019, I lost both my parents 6 days apart. And that was my last run. And I got rescued by George Bailey. I had drugs and stuff in my car going to give somebody a ride. And I got rescued and I got put in South Bay Drug Court. And I surrendered, and I've never surrendered anything in my life. And here's the thing, is that somebody believed in me. And somebody would encourage me. And it's like I tell my clients all the time, look, if all it takes is one person that you need to believe in you, I'm that person. You know what I mean? And if I can drive you, you know what I mean? It's like I'm not going to promise you things are going to be rainbows and unicorns, because that wouldn't be realistic, but you can't give up on your people. I mean, I know they say we can't choose our family, we can't choose the people that are in our lives. But if life gets tough and you jump ship, You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to keep medicating. I'm going to keep suppressing my feelings because I don't want to feel. I'm tired of hurting. You know, today I'm an open book. It's like I'll tell you anything you want to know about me, and I'm not a victim of anything anymore. Today I know. Today I educate myself. Everything's a growth opportunity for me. And here's the thing: somebody reached back for me, and to pull me up out, and that's what I'm doing today. And I'm at like Disneyland at Father Joe's.
That's such a part of people's stories at Father Joe's too. We all have a why we're here, why we're serving.
That's right. And to answer your question, there before the grace of God go I, right?
Yes.
I think we should all feel that way because we're graced in many ways, and if not, where would we be? And I'll share personal stories because you guys have been sharing very nicely, and it has to do with my brother 15 years ago. I lost my brother who I loved very dearly. At age 65, he was 12 years my senior, and I lost him to alcoholism. Right? He had been drinking since a teenager, and he was a social drinker, I guess you would call him, because he held down a job the entire period of time. I had a family, all right, and so that was there. Income came in, and he provided, except the emotional, the providing of the emotional aspect to his family. How could he do that totally when he had this alcohol problem? And time again, thinking about what you said, Mary Jo, time and time again, I set him up for an appointment to get that treatment, right? And to go in and spend the 14 days or whatever it was going to take to get him that treatment. And the day of, at the time of picking him up, he just wouldn't do it. And he would tell me, he said, "You make so much sense," he would tell me, "but it's too hard, and I'm afraid I can't do it." And then finally killed him at age 65. Here I thought we were going to grow old together, you know, as brothers, and enjoy each other after the fact. And when he retired, then what did he have more time to do? To drink. You retire after all those years instead of enjoying your family and so forth. How sad is that? How sad was that, right? And he's still prominently, Carlos, he's still prominently on my mind. I miss him, right? And so, you know, it drives, I'm going to get emotional, it drives me as well. That's one of the reasons that I'm driven by it, right? And then, of course, those who we encounter at Father Joe's Villages. I mean, we have to do this. We have to do this.
This issue absolutely touches every family and so many of our community members, which is why it's so vital. Let's talk about what detox is, what recovery is. Can you walk us through that, Mary Jo?
Sure. So detox is a stage of recovery where you're able to be in a residential space, a safe environment. You're able to get connected with providers. I don't know if that's all detoxes, but the one that we're hoping to build is going to be connected to our Village Health Center. So we're going to have integrated care available for these patients, these clients. So they'll be able to get comfort meds to help them through their journey. They'll be able to have a psychiatrist available, behavioral health services, substance use disorder counselors, dental if they need it. And granted, all of that isn't going to happen in the up to 14 days that they'll be there, but the connections can start to be made. They can know where to go when they transition. So detox is a place for someone to quite literally detox from substances that they're on in order for them to move on to the next stage of their journey.
And it's really important to have these recovery beds or sober shelter beds for them to then transition into, correct, Kimberly?
It is. So here's the thing about detox. So if you've ever kicked, and when I say kicked, I mean like withdraw from like an opiate, heroin or anything. So it's a physical, you know, your body hurts, your body's screaming, "Oh my God, I can't do this." You know what I mean? And it's like, so to take that edge off, that's why people continue to medicate. So the importance of getting put into a detox and going to detox, one, you already don't feel well. Two, they're able to provide MAT services, so that does help to take the edge off. But again,
And I'm sorry, MAT is?
Medication assisted treatment.
Okay.
So it's like Suboxone, Vivitrol, you know, stuff that takes the urge away. And that's super important because with the opiates and the fentanyl and all of that, people, their bodies are screaming for that stuff. They are physically sick. It's not like somebody who uses methamphetamines or something like that, but now you don't know what you're using because tranq is xylazine, fentanyl is in everything. And it's like you just don't know. So with the detox, it's the first couple of days, you're not even going to feel like getting out of bed. But if we can get you on something and we can start working with you, like get you to going to groups. You know, we don't want to just put you in a bed and let you sit there for 14 days, because that kind of depletes the purpose. First couple days, we want you to get to feeling better, but then we want to get you up and start showing you something different, integrating you into, like, you know, some recovery skills, some relapse prevention, give you some coping skills, some boundaries, you know, talk about what it looks like for you. What was life like for you? What brought you here? You know what I mean? What were you running from? Because it's like, we're running from something. It takes the pain away, you know, and then we do so much damage. I was like a Tasmanian devil out there. You know, it's like I did all this damage to these people that loved me. And then finally, you know what I mean? It's like they just had to step back and let me find my own bottom, you know? And unfortunately for me, my bottom came losing both my parents. You know, and that's, they didn't get to see me clean and sober when they passed. And today it's like, today I drive myself, and today I understand this disease. I just keep educating myself. And if we, in my pharmacology class, it's like I had a ball in that class, because, you know, I would be learning about how all these things work in your body and how it's made up. But, you know, back in the day, it wasn't encouraged. You go to school, you get an education, you do anything. I've been in survival mode my whole life, you know, and today it's like I'm not just surviving, I'm living, and I make decisions today. And it's like, but I have people. I don't look at anybody like you're my boss, you're my supervisor. You are mentors in my life. And you are people that, you know what I mean, as long as I remain teachable, I can learn and I can grow. And I can be really good at whatever. And it's the same with the clients that I get to serve now. You know, why I'm so excited about this is I'm going to have some place, a safe place to put my people. And it's like, and that's a huge thing. And God forbid, it could be your people. You know what I mean? It's my family didn't ask for me to be like this and be a little Tasmanian devil, but it happened. And those people, God's a restorer of things, and He's restored all of that to my life. I wasn't a perfect parent, but I'm an amazing grandparent. And, you know, and I'm present today. And I work hard. It's not going to be easy. We're not telling you here, nobody owes you nothing. You know what I mean? But we want to support you. We want to get you, you know what I mean? We want you to be a success story. We want to help you grow as an individual. There's enough out there for all of us. You know what I mean? But we got to support each other. And instead of judging people, I mean, unless you've walked in my shoes, you have no clue what I've been through. And it's like, but here's the thing is we get to share glimpses into our lives with people. And it's like, if they take the hand, it's, you know what I mean? And they put in the work. And again, I got multiple clients in school now. I got multiple clients that are excelling. And now to be able to share with them that, hey, this is what's coming, and it's going to be even safer for you. You don't have to be like, okay, I got to be on guard. You know what I mean? That you're going to be able to just go focus on self, take the tools that we want to provide you. We're going to teach you what's going to work for you. We're going to do a treatment plan with you. We're going to get you behavioral health, because we have therapists, we have psychiatrists. We can get you medication. We have some amazing doctors in our clinic. I mean, if you need wound care, you know what I mean? We want to treat the whole person. We don't just want to put a Band-Aid on something. You know, we want to treat the whole person, and we got city blocks to do it.
We sure do.
You know what I mean? I'm super excited about the detox.
I can tell.
I am. I'm like, I couldn't even believe you guys asked me to do this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been praying for this. But what a gift.
It is a gift. It is a gift. And a new type of gift, this detox and this shift to sober beds. It's something we've never done at Father Joe's. I mean, all of our beds are sober, but this focus on recovery and sobriety is new. Deacon, why is Father Joe's Villages the right organization to take this on?
I think we're uniquely positioned in that regard. And your point about sober beds, that's an important element of this, the recovery beds, right? I mean, people don't want to be in that environment or can't be in the environment of drugs after they've detoxed, right? They need to be in a healthy environment from which to spring forward. So that's an aspect of it. And we do recognize also, I just want to say that we also recognize that not everybody's there yet. And we try to meet people where they are, all right, in order to walk with them. You mentioned, Kimberly, we don't judge people. I mean, that's not what we do. We don't know what's happened in the lives of individuals, the abuses that some of them have had. So many things, tragedies have happened in their lives, right? So we just are there for them at the given point in time and journey with them in order to get them to a healthy place. And some move faster than others, right? That happens. We're all unique human beings in our circumstances. But I say that because, as a result, in recognizing that not everybody's there yet. I mean, we have beds where we recognize that we don't require sobriety, right? They don't use on site, of course. You ladies know that, but they don't use on site. But we know that they're on substances, right? But at least we're providing a safe haven for them, right? Providing a roof over their heads and meals, and we start working with them towards that end, right? So yes, this detox will have, after the 45 beds, which will turn over every 2 weeks, right? Because it's a 14-day intensive program. But then you move up to the 3rd floor. That'll be on the 2nd floor, contiguous with our federally qualified health center. So it's uniquely positioned there within our campus, and the meals are there. And then on the 3rd floor, we'll have those 250 recovery beds. So very, very critical, because during that period of time, Mary Jo, you mentioned it, during that period of time, we continue, it's not 14 days, or we continue to work with individuals in order to truly get them on their feet. That's where you come in, Kimberly, and so many others. And part of that is, okay, so what else do they need from a health point of view, but also what else do they need as far as employment is concerned? Let's start working with that. Let's start working with positioning them for housing as well, right? And if they have, by the way, if they have children, we have individuals who have lost custody of their children, right? Women especially who have lost custody of their children because of their circumstances. So what do we start doing? We start working with them in order to regain custody of those children. These individuals have agonized, right? I mean, as a parent, I have parents, you mentioned grandchildren. Now I'm on the grandchildren stage too, and I love my grandkids. It's over the top type of love, right? And the to lose a child is just devastating. I can't imagine almost, right? And so to be able to help them to reunite with these children, that's all part and parcel of the healing process, right? And the recovery. So much then happens after those 14 days, right? 14 days are important to detox, but then after those 14 days, all these things that happen in the recovery of the individual. And what an honor it is to journey with these individuals, right? What an honor it truly is. And then see them, as you guys see time and time again, you see them prospering, and how, and in the midst of it all, I mean, we don't have to paint, and we shouldn't paint a rosy picture, because the reality is that yes, we rejoice with those who are prospering, and then we ache as people backslide. And that happens, right? It does happen. And because it's hard, it's a lifetime worth of recovery. I don't need to tell you guys, I've never had an addiction, thank God. And so there are those relapses. Not a matter of judging, is okay, well, how can we help you now? Like yet again, right? And yet again, however long it takes. So yeah, that's the program as a whole.
And it's such an important piece of the pie, because we were doing all of these things before, assisting people with employment, with health, with meals, reconnecting with their children. But there was that instability of substance use that so many were and are struggling with, that we weren't addressing effectively, or as effectively as we could. So this shift is really making best use of the space and the dollars.
And the dollars, that's right. The precious dollars, actually.
How will this program be funded?
Well, as I mentioned before, Maggie, the first to establish a program, the construction, renovations, and so forth, that's about $1.5 million, and over the course of the next 6 months. And then once we get it up and running, the actual day-to-day, in order to provide the services, will be a big funding source will be CalAIM, right, and Medi-Cal. And so we're in the process of working with the county to establish that right now. Prop 1, I mean, some people may have heard about Prop 1, but that was passed a number of months ago, and that has to do with behavioral health dollars coming down from the state, right? And so being able to tap that as another funding source will be great. It will be great for infrastructure, as an example, and for some other services as well. But so we'll be able to get a letter from the county certifying us as an entity that can apply to the state, and we're in the process of doing that as well. There's so many things that are having to fall in, or already are falling into place now. So it's, again, number of funding sources, basically.
There's a large philanthropic portion, though, no?
Oh, always a philanthropic. Most of what we do is through philanthropy. I mean, that's the reality. The vast majority of our funding sources is philanthropy. Again, the community is extremely generous to us, because, again, they love to be a part of what we do and share in that, right? And see the impact that we have on individuals.
This has been wonderful. Before we end the show, what would you like to ask the community? How can the community get involved?
I I think just continuing to spread awareness, to understand the need, to be willing to look past maybe your own implicit bias or a lack of understanding, and know that our community members need help and they are worth it.
Absolutely.
What I would say on that is we got 3.3 million people. I didn't even know there were that many people in San Diego. So I would challenge you all to donate at least $1 to our detox and to our neighbors, you guys. These people aren't asking, you know, they have a disease, they have a sickness, they need help. And it's like, it could happen to you. It's like, I know for myself, I am one bad decision away from picking up again. I'm one bad decision away from going back to prison. And it's like, if we can't just turn our backs on people. These are our neighbors. This is our community. You know what I mean? They need some help. They need a hand up, not to be kicked down. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, come check out Father Joe's Villages. Come see what we really do down there. There are amazing people there that want to help people. And again, this need, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a waitress. You know, this disease affects us the same. You know, you might have a different allergic reaction than I do, but it's going to be a reaction. And you know, it's not about breaking people. These people are already broken. You know, it's about us supporting them. It's about us building them up. It's about giving them hope and inspiring them that you can do different. I am a violent second striker who they used to believe belonged up under the prison. Today I live my life different, and today I have integrity, and I fought very, very hard to get where I'm at today. And today I just ask you, you know what I mean? Think about, this could be your family member out there. This could be your neighbor. It could be, people don't ask for this. We need to support our community. I have a whole lot more to say, but I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah, great. No, that's great. I love the $1 per person. Can you imagine? Yes. Right? And some can't even give $1, and I understand that, but others can give much more than $1. So, you know, if you pull it all together, think about it. $3.3 million, right? I mean, right off the bat, right? So that would be absolutely great. Now, and there's other ways, I think you alluded to it as well, just coming down, volunteering. People who volunteer time and time again, I love thanking our volunteers, and they look at me, right, and they say, no, don't thank me. I want to thank you for the opportunity. You get so much more out of it than you even give when you come and volunteer at Father Joe's Villages. It's innate in us. We're built that way. That's part of our DNA. We're not built to be just about ourselves. We're built to be about others. You know, whether it's our family members, our friends, even total strangers. We're meant to be about others, and that's what really then brings us joy and completes us. And so I invite other people to come and experience that at Father Joe's Villages. There are also our retail stores, Maggie, right? So
absolutely.
Another way that you can get involved, we have the trucks that go out on a daily basis, preset appointments. People are so generous, so as they're downsizing, they gift to us good furniture that's in still great condition, other household items and clothing and so forth. What do? We turn it around, either we sell them at our thrift stores or we auction automobiles and boats and so forth that are gifted in our auction houses. All the proceeds go to the services that we provide at Father Joe's Villages.
Well, thank you so much, all of you, for sharing today, for being part of this really exciting chapter in Father Joe's Villages history. It's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Thank
so
you
much. God bless
It's
you.
an honor.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining in the conversation. Homelessness is a human story, and Father Joe's Villages is not only a service provider, we're a movement and a catalyst for change. The face of homelessness is changing, and Father Joe's Villages is adapting to meet the moment. If you feel compelled to learn more about our mission or to make a donation, please visit us at neighbor.org. We'll see you next time. How will you get involved? Join us and take action for our neighbors in need. Father Joe's Villages is rebuilding lives, and you can make a difference. Whether it's through cash donations, volunteering your time, contributing home goods or clothing, shopping at our thrift stores or online, or participating in planned giving, there are numerous ways to get involved. Take action today at neighbor.org, because together we are all neighbors helping neighbors.